Welcome to Life Healing Choices Devotional. Today our topic is Trapped, Week 1, Day 1. We admitted we were powerless over our addictions and compulsive behaviors, that our lives had become unmanageable. This is the idea we're going to be talking about in Week 1. Our Bible verses today is from Genesis 16, 1 to 15. You can read that and come back here. There's times that more often than not we feel powerless, like Sarah, who can't give birth, like Abraham, who is trapped between his wife Sarah and his servant Hagar, who is pregnant with his child, and Ishmael. And if one person is happy, the other person is not, and he is just trapped within two hard places. And either way, he is very unhappy, and a lot of times we don't feel happy, and sometimes we are like Ishmael. We have no choice. We are born into a dysfunctional family that have broken relationships. We feel trapped in our relationship, and we can't move forward with this relationship. We want to have a loving relationship, but we cannot move forward because of different dynamics of relationship that we cannot control. And we start to move in a different way. We start to move in a way that we think we can have control over, and find satisfaction that way. So we get into more dysfunctional relationship. We might get into a codependent relationship. We might get into a toxic relationship, and we feel that we have control over, which we don't. We don't have control over it either, and sometimes it leads to bad habits, like drugs, alcohol, pornography, eating, shopping, and some people even that we think that exercising is good for us. But some of us, we get into it, excessive exercising to escape the things that is bothering us in our lives. We don't know what Abraham did, but what kind of escape that he had. But we know one thing. He told Sarah to deal with it. When Sarah complained that Hagar is looking down on her, he just said, "Don't bother me with this. Just handle it yourself. This is your servant. You take care of it." So a lot of times our reaction to things that we are trapped in, we are frustrated. You can hear the voice of frustration in Abraham's voice. And Sarah finds a way, right? Sarah finds a way to have a baby from her servant. She's trying to take control in her hands and have. But when Hagar is pregnant, she actually feel more upset because Hagar is pregnant and she cannot have her own child. And Hagar feels harassed, and to a point that she did the running away. She did it physically. She ran away physically into the wilderness, and but we realize that once she's in there, we realize that she is all alone. A lot of times when we are trapped, it's for us to realize that we cannot control what is going on in our life, and sometimes it goes out of control, so that we need God in our lives. And when Hagar was in the wilderness and she realized she's all alone, and God sent an angel, and she saw the angel. And in the scripture it tells us that if we want to be free from our trap, we need to leave our lives in God's hands. God promised Sarah that she herself will have a child, and this child is gonna be from her own, right? And so we need to hold on to our the promises of God, so that we don't waver. And God promised Abraham that he will be a blessing to nations, and so we don't waver. God has a promise, has a will in your life that He will bless you if you allows Him to bless you. And in the wilderness, God promised Hagar that she will be the mother of a great many offsprings, and so, but listening to God is not easy. Abraham and Sarah must wait, and Hagar must go back to Sarah, who abused her. Sometimes God is funny that way. I'm not saying that you should. This is not. It's just what God told Hagar to do. It's not for you to do. Seek God's wisdom in your life. Don't go back to the abuser unless God tells you to. But God sometimes use things that is hard for us to understand. Who was not, this Sarah was not kind to her, and Ishmael will face affliction in the scripture, and many people will be against him. So it's not an easy task to walk in God's will and God's teaching for us. But Hagar sees God, God is with her, and that is the promise of God that we need to hold on to. And that comfort of that God sees her is enough for her to go back to Sarah to have the baby in Abraham's household. Today, God sees you as well. God sees you, and God seeks you today because He is seeking you. So we need to seek God today. He sees you in your trap, and He is willing to set you free today. Do you believe it? I hope that you will believe and hold on to the promise that God will bless you. Blessed are those who is spiritually poor, who understand that we need God in our life. Okay? I will see you tomorrow. Today I'm listening to Nothing Sweeter by Toby Mac. I hope you enjoyed this song.